In a small, cobblestone village, there lived a very weird shoemaker named Mr. Bumbletack.
He wasn't just any shoemaker, his tiny shop was brimming with the most peculiar contraptions you could ever imagine.
Shoes with springs, boots with whistles, and even slippers that glowed in the dark. But what was most extraordinary was Mr. Bumbletack himself. Some said he had once been a magician, while others whispered about his adventures across far-off lands. One thing was clear, every kid in the village was curious about his wondrous shoes. One sunny afternoon, four adventurous friends decided to uncover Mr. Bumbletack's secrets. There was Lily, who was always the first to hatch a plan, Milo, who loved reading about magical stories, Jasper, the mischievous one who couldn't sit still, and Emma, who had a kind heart and always brought the group together. They tiptoed towards the shoemaker's shop, their eyes wide with anticipation. As they entered, the soft tinkling of a bell announced their arrival. Mr. Bumbletack looked up from his workbench, his wiry mustache twitching with a welcoming smile.
"Ah, visitors! What can I do for you, children?"
His voice was warm, with a hint of mystery. "We've heard so much about your amazing shoes," Lily began.
"We were wondering, do you have any shoes for adventurers like us?" Milo added, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Mr. Bumbletack's eyes twinkled. "For adventurers, you say? Well, you've come to the right place."
He reached underneath his workbench and pulled out a dusty, leather-bound book.
"This here is my grand gobolumbus of unfinished ideas. Shall we make something together?" The children nodded eagerly.
First, Mr. Bumbletack asked them to choose their favorite materials.
"Sparkly leather," shouted Jasper. "Feathers," suggested Emma. "Lantern lights."
Lily and Milo chimed in together. With a whimsical wave of his hand, Mr. Bumbletack began crafting 4 pairs of enchanting shoes. He gave each child a pair and instructed them to think of the greatest adventure they could imagine before putting them on. With shoes on their feet and a burst of magic, the world around them began to shift and change. They found themselves standing at the edge of a vast, colorful forest where flowers sang melodies and the trees whispered secrets of hidden treasures. It was a place like no other.
"Look!" Milo pointed, a map.
Pinned to an ancient oak tree was a map that guided them to the forest of forgotten things. Following its path, they encountered talking animals that offered riddles, a sparkling river that required a dance to cross, and floating islands that shifted with the wind. Each challenge they faced, they solved by using their unique talents and the magic of their shoes.
Jasper's shoes let him leap over towering trees in a single bound. Milo's shoes glowed like fireflies, lighting the way in the darkest caves.
Lily's shoes granted her the speed to outrun even the swiftest creatures. Emma's shoes had the power to grow any plant she wished, aiding them in reaching high places and bridging gaps. Their journey was filled with laughter and awe as they discovered new lands and made friends with creatures they'd only read about in fairy tales. And through it all, Mr. Bumbletack's voice echoed in their minds, reminding them that curiosity and imagination could turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. As the sun began to set on their splendid adventure, the children felt a gentle tug, pulling them back to their village. They landed softly at the doorstep of Mr. Bumbletack's shop, their shoes glowing warmly before fading back into ordinary leather. Mr. Bumbletack stood smiling at his door. "How was your adventure?" he asked. Lily, Milo, Jasper, and Emma shared their stories all at once.